So what I'm trying to do is, if you see here on the top, this is our executive CF top level organization, right? Where the CEO is hired. And our CEO is Brian Adams for our CF company. And currently here you see that, there Logan McNeil is the manager of this organization. And because I would like you guys to go through the process of doing the approvals, not just as Logan, but you need to proxy in as other users, such as Brian Adams, for approvals and everything. So hence all the manager roles that were assigned on this CF executive, I have removed Logan McNeil and replaced it with Brian Adams as the manager of those organizations, of this particular organization. Generally, there should be just one manager on the top for an organization, but because there are so many roles for managers that are created, I don't know which one is being used for the managers. That's why you see multiple 5 managers for this organization, whereas there should be just one. But because there are so many assignable roles created and duplicated, so I'm not sure which one is a manager and which one is not. So I'm assigning to all of them. So now you don't see Logan McNeil as the manager of the top level organization, right? Now all the subordinate organization will automatically inherit Brian Adams as the manager's role unless they are assigned to them. For example, for the executive management, here again, you see that Brian Adams is the organization manager. And for this, I would like Swapna to be the manager for this organization. So let's just take one manager role and let's assign it to Swapna. The manager role has been assigned to Swapna, and I'm trying to clean this up so we have 3 more manager roles, but okay, that is fine. So now you can see the executive management is managed by Swapna. And say, if I go to human resources, again, you'll see Swapna. Do we have anybody in legal that we have hired? So we don't have anybody in legal. So Martin Frederick is VP operations, and I would like to make him the manager for this operations organization. Currently, it's Brian Adams inherited, or Swapna is being inherited, which is incorrect. So Martin should be able to manage his own organization as the manager. So let's take Martin and assign roles. Okay. So now we see operations is being managed by Martin Frederick. And let me make one more change and see if we can clean this up a little bit. So for each level of supervisory organization, we are assigning currently the role of manager only. Then you should also have a common HR partner or dedicated HR partner for the level of organization and below. Then you should have a compensation partner, then maybe security partner, and so on. So I'm going to remove this guy from the top level, this guy for the compensation partner. Let me save the changes and come back to it again. So we still have two more managers role assigned. Like we have the ST manager. Come on. Okay, so I can clean this up later on while this is loading. And so as we have created our organizations, we talked about the organizational hierarchies, and there are multiple ways that a company can set up the cost center hierarchies. Like we looked at the car admin, car R&D, car sales, truck admin, truck R&D, truck sales, and general admin, and these would be the cost center for a given company. But depending on your company's hierarchy and the way your company is set up, there could be multiple ways how a hierarchy could be set up. Here we see that, on the top, it's all products, and under all products is a general admin. Again, under all products, we have trucks and cars as the subordinate organization. And under the subordinate organizations, we have these car-related cost centers like car admin, car R&D, car sales. And under trucks, we have the truck admin, truck R&D, truck sales. Similarly, keeping in view the same number of cost centers and same type, it could be set up in a different way, where you have all your functions on the top, then you have your functional admin, function as R&D, function as sales, and under admin, you have your car, truck, and general admin. Under R&D, you have your car and truck R&D, and under sales, you have your car and truck sales. Depending on how your organization is set up and how would you like to do the cost allocation. So it could be different for many companies, and these are just two examples as to how it can be set up. But there could be more variations and iterations depending on the company's financial organization hierarchy. And then there are some reports that are related specific to organizations that you can run on the tenant, where you can see what is going on in a given organization. So there is a report called Directory by Organization, Organizational Hierarchy, Org Chart, organizations I belong to, organizations I support or manage. And let's try to run some of these reports in the tenant. Like org directory. So it's called Directory by Organization. And say, let's select Brian Adams. So include subordinate and include managers, and press OK. So then you can see who are the workers within that particular organization and its subordinate, including managers. Then you have another report called Organizational Hierarchy. And we can pull it by either a task, or we can go to the organization and click on the organization. We'll get the button for org hierarchy or super org chart. So Brian, Adam. So here you can see how this report is set up. So you have the organization, the hierarchies under it, the location, the superior organization, the subordinate organizations that are under it, the subtype, which is department, organization type, which is supervisory, visibility is for everyone. So if you need to do an audit or you need to do a report or have a visualization of what your hierarchy is set up, you can use these reports to help you get around. The third report is org chart. Okay, so this has gone kaput. So let me close this for now. And here you see the org chart for the entire company starting from global modern services. And similarly, I can look at our CF executives. And if I go to my organization, supervisory organization, and I click on the related actions, and I can click on the org chart. So it will take this organization as the top level and then show me the org chart under it. So here you can see the manager for operations is Martin, for human resources Swapna, and for legal again it's Swapna and Logan McNeil because it has been inherited. Organizations that I belong to is another report that you can run. So this is for Logan because Logan is signed in. So it took her as the subject that organizations I belong to. So let's say, let's start proxy as Brian Adams. Or let's do it as Swapna. Or Brian Adam. Okay. Why is that? Okay, so their Workday accounts are not created in the system. That is why we cannot start proxy as them. So let's say, let's do it as Steve Morgan. And it'll give all the organizations that Steve is part of, like the pay group, division, company, cost center, region, cost center, company, and regions.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Then there's another report, organizations I support or manage. Org I support or manage. Let's say swap the include subordinate. So it'll list all the organizations that Swapna is either supporting or managing. So the description will give you a snapshot of what that report does. Like view organization by directory is a view directory of workers for one or more supervisory organization or matrix organizations. Details include workers, support, phone number, email, title, and location, and enables you to audit workers for organization. For the hierarchy, it gives you an organizational spreadsheet of the selected hierarchy and subordinates, access to organization as its primary object, and the organization returns one row per organization. And then the org chart is self-explanatory. Organizations that belong to and are supported manager, very well self-explanatory. Next is the staffing model that we have been talking about, the position management or the job management, and what do they do? So staffing models, and where do you see your staffing model? So we did see that when we create the soup org, which is not inherited, it does ask us for the staffing model option. So let me start proxy as when I use a task of create supervisory organization, and it's not a subordinate, it's not a superior, it's not one of the two, it does ask me the staffing model, whether it's going to be position management or job management. If I create a subordinate, it will inherit the type of staffing model from its superior organization. So we don't have to fill in this or select the staffing model at all at that time. So what does the staffing model do for us? So when setting up your supervisory organizations, we need to consider our staffing strategy and our budget needs. So in this chapter, we will review staffing models, which at the simplest are used to determine how jobs are defined and filled, provide different levels of control over staffing and supporting different staffing goals. Every support must be associated with a staffing model. And this chapter provides specific information about the difference between two types of staffing models available within Workday. There used to be three, but one has been discontinued. So one is position management and one is job management. And how can you see the staffing model in a given supervisory organization? So if I go to CF executives for an already created supervisory organization, if I go to job organizations, and if I go to staffing, On the top, you would see the staffing model in use by this supervisory organization. So after reviewing this chapter, we should be familiar with the following: the staffing model definitions, position management and job management, what are the hiring restrictions, differentiating staffing models, and maintaining staffing models. So a position consolidates key job information. So in every supervisory organization, we create a position to hire in the position management model. But even in job management, the position information or position restrictions are also defined, but at the super level, not at every individual position level. So a position consolidates key job information such as job family, job profile, worker type, location, as well as whether the worker is full-time or part-time. You may also define required qualifications, experience, education levels for that position, as we saw in the past, that we have that skills tab as well. The two types of staffing models are position management and job management. And both of these staffing models provides a different level of control over staffing and support different staffing goals. So when is position management used? When a single position is created to be filled by a worker. So every worker will have a unique position for which they are working in. To hire, promote, demote, or transfer into a position, there must be an approved and available position as of the worker start date. So if you need to hire an employee in your supervisory organization, you should have an open and approved position available. If you're transferring an employee from one organization to another, the other organization should have an open position available, or the position may be transferred from one support to the other. Even if it's a demotion and that position needs to be demoted or a new position needs to be there, that needs to be available. Positions can open after a job change. So for example, if Swapna was moved from CHRO to say CFO, but we would need to hire a CHRO again on that position that Swapna was holding, and Swapna moved to another open position of the CFO, the position can remain open for another worker to be hired into that position. So positions can open after a job change. Positions can be moved from one support to another as part of the job change. A position can be closed if it is no longer needed. So these are the attributes of position management. And for job management, hiring restrictions are established at the organization level. And no quantity is defined for the number of jobs available for hire within an organization. So hiring restrictions are not on each position, but the hiring restrictions that we have on each positions in position management are done at the support level. And then you can hire as many people as you want on that job management organization. And then position no longer exists after the worker is transferred, demoted, promoted, terminated, unless moved with the employee. So let me give you an example of a position management organization. Say you have a construction site where on day one, you need, say, 20 people to dig up the dirt. And that 20 people have a limited lifespan of their job, and they all will do the same role, is digging. So you hire somebody in the job management organization for diggers for 20 people who are supposed to work for, say, 30 days to dig up that site. And then that position, after they're done with that job, the diggers are no more required and that positions are gone. So that's when you can use a job management organization. Say, for example, the next organization is your, steelworks. So you need 15 steel workers to come in and do your steel work for your foundation. After they're done with the steel work, they're gone, they are no longer needed, then you need a position for concrete workers. So you have 20 concrete workers who need to fill up that foundation and so on. So job management is generally used when you have a similar type of role for an organization for a limited amount of time. So it limited amount of time can be expanded and can be expanded into years as well. That's not an issue. Say, for example, you have a job management for your call center operators, where you have to hire 150 operators for the same kind of work. And there's a very quick turnaround time, like every 3 months, the call center agents would change. They would get either moved to a position management organization, get promoted, and the position opens up again. So let's go ahead and create a position management organization uh, within our company. So let's go to operations or sales and marketing, in fact. And we don't have any subordinates. So Susan D is the director of sales. And if you look at the staffing, it is a position management organization. Now, if I create a subordinate organization from the related actions in the reorganization tab, it will inherit the staffing model from sales and marketing organization. So what I would need to do is I would need to create a subordinate organization or supervise the organization as a separate entity. Create superorg. Say call center operators. To include the name, and let's call it a division. Visibility is everyone. CF Hawaii. And I'm going to select job management. And in this, for the manager role, I would like the manager to be Susan Lee. Assign roles. And I'm going to ignore all the other roles for now. I'm also going to ignore the organization assignment and I'll press OK. So this standalone organization would be created. Now I'm going to assign the superior organization of sales and marketing to this organization that we created for cost center operations. Currently, you would see that there's no hierarchy. There's no subordinate or superior. So I'll go to reorganization. Assign superior. And it would be the organization ID or the name. Now you can see that the superior organization has been designated. It is part of the hierarchy. The organization's assignment would be inherited from the superior, like the company. We did not define that. And we just defined one role that was the manager. The rest were inherited automatically. And so it should be in the list. This hangs up because it has 914 roles, which is crazy. But if I go to the staffing model, you can see the job management has been defined. So it is no longer a position management, but it is under a position management supervisory organization. So you can have a hybrid model of the organization staffing model types within your organizations. So it's not restricted that you can only choose one or the other, but depending on your organizational hierarchy and your job and staffing requirements, you can have multiple a hybrid of staffing models for job management and position management. So when you set up your job management supervisory organization, you have to apply specific restrictions to it, like you do it in a given position. Like restrictions for any staffing model may be established using the following: job families, job profile, one or more locations, worker type, employer contingent, worker subtype, time type, like part-time or full-time, and the worker subtype could be casual, fixed-term, sensational, regular, interns. Optionally, you can relax your hiring restriction by allow overrides restrictions on staffing, even checkbox, edit tenant setup. Right now, let's see how we can apply these restrictions on the job management organization. So if I just to verify that the staffing model is job management, I go to the related action of that staffing model job management organization type, and you'll see that I'll have some additional menus here. And if I go to organization, I would have edit staffing model or set hiring restrictions. So I select all set hiring restrictions. The reason for hiring restriction, job group, new organization, say availability date is 4/1. Earliest hire date is again, let's say last Monday. And I can either select no job restrictions or I can put some restrictions that I would like call center. If I have a job family for that, support, so let's say customer support, agent, so customer service representative, location, say CF Hawaii. So time type, I can have a combination. I know I can have either contingent worker or employees. Let's say I want these to be contractual workers. So I put in contingent, time type could be full-time, contingent worker, worker subtype could be. Here I can have a combination of either say consultants, contractors, or vendors. Let's say contractors and vendors. And I press OK. Now I have set up the hiring restrictions on the supervisory organization level. Now, available to fill, it says customer support. That's a job family, that's a job profile, and doesn't give me restrictions or the number of positions that I need to hire. So I can hire as many people as I want in job management, but on this specific job family, job profile, location, worker type, worker subtype, and with these hiring restrictions that have been established at the superorg level. So as an assignment, I would like you to hire not employees, but contingent workers. So let's hire one contingent worker and I can show you. So I go to supervisory organization, I go to hire, and here you can see because of our restrictions, it says contract contingent worker, not hire employee. Say create a new pre-hire. Say I'm not going to use a referral for now, say United States, prefix, say agent 007. I at least add an email. So contract start date, let's say, I want this contract to start from say 25th. New contingent worker, vacant position. Then it'll ask me for the contingent worker type, whether it's a contractor or a vendor. Let's say it's a contractor. So job profile, so this is going to be a senior customer service representative, or I can select another one. Time type is full-time. If I have a workspace or a table or a seat that I need to assign, if it's already built in the system, I can do that. Now I have the contractor information details. So supplier, so we have the supplier, default payment terms, say 10 net 20, 2%, 10 net 30. So these are the payment percent. So 2% would be held by the company as a deposit, 10 days payment due on 30 days. So every 10 days they'll be paid. Every 30 days they'll be paid for 10 days. So whatever the terms, default payment terms may be, you can do that. So we are hiring this person on 4/25. Say I want to hire this person for April, May, and June. Say June 30th. Then I have to define the contract pay rate. Say it's going to be $27.5 USD. And say the frequency is going to be hourly. Or payment is going to be, say, yeah, hourly. And then if I have any additional information about that contractor, like the job title, business title, scheduled weekly hours, classification, and so on, and what is the first day of work shift, if I have any, like morning, evening, afternoon, day, evening, night, let's call this the night shift. And I press submit. Now this has gone into an error for the business process because it says not completed, but it says you have submitted. It says process definition error. So our business process is not configured correctly for this. So it has these errors because all these are assigned to HR12. HR12, retiree partner, and security partner. So what I can do is I can either change all these groups and change them to HR partner, or I can assign the HR12 group to one of the managers of the supervisory organization, which is Susan Lee. So I go ahead. Sales and marketing. Let's go to the subordinate. So this is a role-based security group. Has it been applied to? It has been applied to the manager. So it has been applied to these organizations. And do we have our CF? So our organization has not been assigned this role. So let me take this role. Okay, let's go to our sales and marketing organization. So I add another role, WID. Say, let's give it to Susan Lee. Or in fact, let's give it to Logan McNeil because Susan does not have a Workday account as yet. And also let's assign the security partner role. Or let's say let's assign it to Brian Adam. Hmm. So security partner. Okay, so this has to be applied at the top level. All right, so we can remove security partner for now. Press OK. Go ahead and cancel this. And if I look at this, this went into a process definition error, and we need to reassign this task to Logan to get this sorted. So assign task, say today, press OK. Hire Liam, hire Emily, hire Swap. Okay, okay. So it did not come there. So let's try to correct this. Let's cancel this and hire again. And let's create our, to make things simple, let's create our business process definition. Let's say the initiation, and I would like the approval to go to the manager. Say approval group manager. Due date is say 1 day. Order is going to be B. So what I've done is I've created a separate business process definition for contract contingent worker for call center operations supervisory organization. So we're not going to use a default definition. Let's close this. So let's discard this. So we have done this. Let's go back to our CF executives, or we can go back to our supervisory organization and then hire a person right here again. Go to staffing or hire contract contingent worker. Existing pre-hired, say agent 007 was already created, so we'll use the same person. Put in the details, say 25th, new contingent worker, vacant position, type, say contractor, select a supplier. Okay, say immediate contract end date. June 30th, say 12.5. Currency is going to be USD. Frequency is going to be hourly. Say submit. So we have submitted, and this person should have gone for approval. Why didn't it go? Which business process did it use? So maybe if Logan is Logan is the manager. So when she's initiating it, she doesn't need to approve herself. That's why it got completed automatically. All right, so let's go back to our organization. And here you will see a member that has been hired on the job and the details that we entered. Now, if I go back to the staffing, it will show me that the available to fill is still there. The position has not closed because this is a job management organization. I don't have restrictions for the number of employees that I can hire in my job management organization. So let me share my slide from the So a company are the primary organization type used by Workday financials. So a company is a financial entity. It is not a people organization. A company
Okay.
in Workday equates to a single tax ID within your enterprise. So when you're running company-based reports or financial reports, that is when you need the entity of the company. So it's a financial requirement, and you cannot put a FEIN in your reporting in your supervisory organization. Like for US, you use Federal Employer Identification Number or Social Security number who are paying taxes. So when you do your financial reporting, the carrier is the company, not the support.
Okay.
Make sense? Yeah, all your people and your positions or your job restriction staffing model or your position management staffing model can be done on the supervisory organization. You cannot apply a staffing model on a company because it's not a people organization. It's a financial entity. But business unit in Workday world is a custom organization or an organization type. So company is also organization type, but the
Okay.
financial carrier or the financial vehicle for reporting financials, and if you have a multi-company environments, for example, you have a mother company that you have hierarchy of companies that are under your ABC company. You have a company called ABC as the mother level or the top level company. Then you have, say, ABC Asia, ABC Europe, ABC North America, but they all report into the one company. So you can have a company hierarchy as well. And all your supervisory organization within Europe will be tagged under the ABC company Europe. All your supervisory organization that are in Asia would be under the ABC company Asia. But then ABC company Europe and ABC company Asia would be under the hierarchy of the company ABC company, which is headquartered, say, in US. And all your superorgs that are based or located in the US would be under ABC company. Okay, let's try to hire with the other menu. Because we have 2 or 3 Logan McNeils in the tenant as well. So please
Okay.
make sure that you're signing in with no Logan McNeil whose employee ID is 21001. Okay, so let's try the first one.
Yeah.
So it
Yes.
lets you search. And if you don't have a search candidate available, you can start hire directly. Oh, so it gives you an
So
error.
it's
Existing pre-hires who already have a job application in the system in your recruiting module.